Welcome to my channel. Today I will be doing a prediction video on what I think Hulk will be doing in Brand New Day. So, while I predict, there's some photos of Hulk, mostly just Grey Hulk, as I think we are going to get there. We'll talk about what that means, but just pictures of Hulk and some stuff. So, when it comes to the MCU, Hulk, I think in Brand New Day we are going to be getting Savage Hulk, but I think they're gonna do it a bit differently. So I think when it comes to how they're gonna do it differently, they're kind of going to give this character a kind of scary vibe, right? Because I think what Marvel has realized with the MCU Hulk is that they need to bring back that classic version of the Hulk in a new way that doesn't ruin what they have done before and isn't something they've done previously. So when it comes down to what they're going to be doing, I think they are bringing back the Hulk, but bringing more of his scary kind of eerie elements that have been present in comic books. If you don't know, I don't actually read comic books. I'm not a nerd when it comes to comic lore. I reference comic books, but I don't really read them usually and or occasionally. So, but I will be more often nowadays. When it comes to a version of the Hulk, we know that he's gonna become Savage Hulk again, which is really great. I think that how they're gonna do it is obviously with Jean Grey. So Jean Grey is gonna probably manipulate Hulk to manipulate Bruce Banner into becoming Savage Hulk in order for her to break out of the DOOC, which is why I think it's really cool. As you know, the Hulk is gonna come back into his savage form. A lot of people are saying he's gonna become that of the Grey Hulk, but when I look in the trailers, I kind of sense this feeling like, no, not Grey Hulk, but just the regular Green Hulk. When I look at the trailers, right, obviously, I don't know if he is going to become Grey Hulk in the movie. It's, promotion, it's trailers. It can change in the final version, right? But when looking in the promotion and or trailer, it looks like he's kind of gonna have this greenish grayish kind of look, right? They're not gonna do Grey Hulk completely, right? But they're going to try and make it feel like a kind of scary character, right? So I think what they're doing is very smart, right? They're bringing back the Savage Hulk, right? But what they're doing is very story heavy, right? So when you think about it, right? So Jean Grey is controlling the Hulk, which is kind of similar to what Wanda did to the Hulk in Age of Ultron, which also led to the Hulk leaving the planet, right? But I don't think Hulk will leave the planet this time. I think he'll be controlled by Jean Grey, which will lead to Spider-Man having to fight the Hulk, of course, as Jean Grey needs the Hulk needs Bruce Banner to rage out so that she can, break out of the DOC, as she's been kind of kept there her whole life, and so she wants to break out, right? So she gets the Hulk to turn into the Savage Hulk, breaking the Hulk out of his Smart Hulk persona, bringing him into the Savage Hulk persona that we all love, and making it thematically better. And then maybe they can give him a kind of boost in showing that maybe the more stronger the Hulk gets, the more pale he becomes, right? Or I guess the more bulky, of course, he becomes more stronger. But the more pale he becomes, which could be a way they can show maybe he's mind controlling or how stronger he has become over this period of time within the film, which could lead to Spider-Man having to fight him Spider-Man obviously will probably win. Listen, if I have to say it, Hulk is going to smash that guy. Okay, Spider-Man ain't gonna stand a chance against the Hulk. Okay, if the Hulk can beat Thor in, you know, a gladiator ring, then who knows what's going to happen against Spider-Man in the film. But when it comes to story beats, I think that's probably gonna happen. When it comes to what's gonna happen later, I think they're probably going to be, paralyzed because Spider-Man's gonna get a boost from, maybe another character's armor. We'll talk about that later. This can then lead to him being paralyzed, right? When it comes to the color, I like it, right? I mean, they're showing us a lot of differences from this version of the Hulk to the Hulk in Age of Ultron, right? A lot of people are going to compare this Hulk to Age of Ultron because this version of the Hulk is very much bigger and, has similar beats to that version, right? Where he gets mind controlled by Wanda, becomes savage, and goes on a rampage on New York, right? Similar beats, but them showing us more of a gruesome kind of gory kind of vibe to this character is really cool, which I will also be talking about later in my next video about what I think the MCU should do with the Hulk after Secret Wars, and obviously what I want them to do with the Hulk in Secret Wars. That will be a video on its own. And then I'll also make a video predicting Jean Grey as well, if you want to see that as well. When it comes to this Hulk, I like it, right? The Hulk in this version looks very much different to that of what we've seen in the MCU so far. But when it comes to it, that is everything I have to talk about right now from the comics as well. It's obviously there. This is what I think the MCU is going to be doing. Bringing him back to his savage form and bringing him into that version that we all know and love, which is Grey Hulk. Or if they're not going to do Grey Hulk, I like how they're bringing in this element of kind of scariness, right? Because when it comes down to it, I've always felt like the MCU Hulk has been missing this kind of eerie vibe, right? I mean, he's supposed to be this raging monster, right? But if you think about it, the comic version of this character was represented through him being kind of scary, kind of airy, and Stan Lee wanted to make this character feel kind of like a Frankenstein monster, right? Similar to what Frankenstein is, right? Where he's kind of this scary monster who has this weird thing that I'm not gonna talk about Frankenstein here. Okay, I'm talking about the MCU Hulk here. But I like the elements of scariness because when it comes down to what I love about the Hulk, I love the MCU Hulk. Don't get me wrong. I love what the MCU has done with the Hulk. I love anything to do with the MCU Hulk. But I've always felt like the MCU Hulk has been missing this element of scariness, right? And so they're gonna bring in this kind of scary vibe to the character to kind of give him a little bit of a different vibe and different feeling. Because if you don't know, this film is supposed to reset the Spider-Man character, but just like how it's kind of a brand new day for a new day for Spider-Man, so it is a new beginning for the MCU Hulk. But that is all I need to talk about today. If you want me to do any other videos, please suggest them in the comments below. And if you would like, I will also be making a prediction on what the main villain of Brand New Day will be, as I think that video will be very interesting in its own right. If you really want to see more, please click subscribe, and thank you for watching